Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to stand before you today and share a concept that has the power to transform our lives. Every one of us, regardless of where we come from or what we do, faces two fundamental choices to make a living or to design a life. At first glance, these may sound like the same thing. After all, making a living earning money, paying bills, and fulfilling responsibilities is part of life, right? But I want to challenge that notion. Making a living is what we do to survive. Designing a life, on the other hand, is what we do to thrive. Making a living is a fundamental part of the human experience. It is the process by which we earn money to support ourselves and our families, providing for our basic needs such as food, shelter, clothing, and other necessities. For many, it represents the stability and security required to navigate the complexities of modern life. But as crucial as making a living is, it often becomes the focal point of our existence, overshadowing deeper aspirations and dreams. This tendency to prioritize survival over fulfillment is worth examining because it highlights both the necessity and the limitations of a life focused solely on earning a livelihood. When we talk about making a living, we usually mean the daily grind, the routine of work that consumes much of our time and energy. For most people, it involves waking up early, commuting to a job, working long hours, and returning home, often too tired to do much else. It is a cycle repeated day after day, year after year. While this routine provides financial stability, it can sometimes feel mechanical, leaving little room for creativity, passion, or personal growth. It's easy to become so consumed by the act of making a living that we lose sight of why we're doing it in the first place. There's a profound truth in the idea that making a living is necessary but not sufficient for a meaningful life. At its core, making a living is about meeting external demands and obligations. It is shaped by societal expectations, economic realities, and the pressures of competition. People often pursue careers or jobs not because they love them, but because they offer a reliable paycheck or are seen as socially acceptable choices. The result is a life centered around financial security rather than personal fulfillment. It's important to acknowledge the dignity of work and the value of making a living. Providing for oneself and others is a noble endeavor, and it takes effort, discipline, and responsibility. Whether one is working as a teacher, a healthcare worker, a laborer, or a corporate executive, every role contributes to the functioning of society. Work allows us to build skills, gain experience, and interact with others. It also fosters a sense of purpose and accomplishment, even if it's primarily tied to external achievements. However, the danger lies in allowing the act of making a living to consume our identity. When our lives revolve entirely around our jobs or careers, we risk becoming defined by them. This narrow focus can lead to a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction, especially when work no longer brings joy or meaning. People often find themselves asking questions like, is this all there is, or what's the point of working so hard if I'm not happy? These questions arise because making a living, while essential, does not fulfill the deeper human need for purpose, passion, and connection. One of the challenges of making a living is the pressure to conform to societal norms. From a young age, we are often told to pursue stable careers, prioritize financial security, and climb the ladder of success. These messages, while well-intentioned, can sometimes limit our imagination and suppress our true desires. For instance, someone with a passion for art, writing, or music might feel compelled to pursue a more practical profession, fearing that their dreams are too risky or unrealistic. Over time, this can lead to regret or a sense of unfulfilled potential. Making a living also often comes with sacrifices. People sacrifice time with their families, hobbies, health, and even their well-being to meet the demands of their work. Long hours, high stress, and constant pressure can take a toll on physical and mental health. Relationships can suffer when work becomes the dominant priority. While these sacrifices may be necessary in the short term, they can have long-term consequences if left unchecked. Moreover, the pursuit of making a living can sometimes lead to a mindset of scarcity. When we focus exclusively on earning money, we may develop an attachment to material possessions or financial status as markers of success. This can create a cycle of always wanting more, never feeling satisfied with what we have. It's easy to fall into the trap of equating a higher income or a bigger house with a better life, only to realize that material wealth does not necessarily bring happiness or fulfillment. Yet, making a living doesn't have to be a limiting concept. It can be a stepping stone to something greater, a foundation upon which we can build a more fulfilling life. The key is to approach work not just as a means of survival, but as an opportunity for growth and contribution. When we align our work with our passions, values, and talents, making a living can become a source of joy and inspiration. It can enable us to pursue our dreams, support causes we care about, and create a positive impact in the world. To move beyond simply making a living, we must ask ourselves some critical questions. What truly matters to us? What kind of life do we want to create? How can we use our time and energy to pursue what we love while meeting our responsibilities? These questions help us shift from a survival mindset to a design mindset, one where we actively shape our lives rather than passively letting them unfold. In conclusion, making a living is an essential part of life, but it should not define the entirety of our existence. While it provides the means to survive, it is only when we go beyond it that we truly begin to thrive. By balancing the practical demands of earning a livelihood with the pursuit of our passions and purpose, we can create a life that is not only stable but also deeply fulfilling. Making a living is the starting point, but designing a life is the ultimate goal. Designing a life is about living with intention. It's the conscious process of creating a life that aligns with your values, passions, and dreams. While making a living is necessary for survival, designing a life goes beyond that. It is about thriving, finding meaning, and achieving personal fulfillment. Designing a life requires more than reacting to circumstances or following societal norms. It demands reflection, planning, and a willingness to take ownership of your choices. At its heart, designing a life is about clarity. It begins with understanding who you are, what you value, and what you want to achieve. This clarity allows you to define your goals and aspirations, not based on what others expect of you, but on what genuinely matters to you. For some, it may mean pursuing a career that aligns with their passions. For others, it could involve building meaningful relationships, exploring creative pursuits, or making a difference in their community. Whatever the vision, designing a life starts with self-awareness and a clear sense of purpose. One of the key principles of designing a life is intentionality. Many people drift through life without a clear direction, simply responding to whatever comes their way. Designing a life is the opposite of this. It is about taking charge, setting goals, and making deliberate choices that move you closer to the life you envision. For example, if someone values family above all else, they might design their life to prioritize time with loved ones, even if it means choosing a less demanding job or relocating to be closer to relatives. Similarly, someone passionate about the arts might decide to pursue a creative career, even if it involves financial risk or unconventional paths. Intentionality means understanding your priorities and organizing your life around them. Another essential aspect of designing a life is adaptability. While having a clear vision is important, life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change. The ability to adapt and adjust your plans is crucial to staying aligned with your values and goals. For instance, someone might have a goal of starting a business but face unexpected challenges such as financial constraints or health issues. In such situations, designing a life means finding alternative paths or reevaluating priorities while staying true to the core vision. Flexibility ensures that life remains meaningful, even when plans don't unfold as expected. Designing a life also requires courage. It often involves stepping out of your comfort zone, taking risks, and facing uncertainty. Pursuing your dreams or making significant changes can be daunting, especially when they deviate from conventional paths. Society often pressures people to conform, valuing stability over creativity or practicality over passion. However, designing a life means having the courage to challenge these norms and pursue what truly matters to you. It's about believing in your potential and having the confidence to carve your unique path, even when it's not the easiest or most obvious choice. One of the most rewarding aspects of designing a life is the sense of fulfillment it brings. When you align your actions with your values and passions, every aspect of your life feels more meaningful. Work becomes more than just a paycheck. It becomes a way to express your talents and contribute to the world. Relationships become deeper and more authentic because they are built on shared values and genuine connections. Even challenges and setbacks take on a different significance, as they become opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Designing a life allows you to experience joy and satisfaction in ways that simply making a living cannot. An often overlooked part of designing a life is the importance of balance. While pursuing dreams and goals is vital, it's equally important to maintain harmony across different aspects of life: career, relationships, health, personal growth, and leisure. Designing a life means recognizing that success in one area should not come at the expense of another. For instance, someone deeply committed to their career should also ensure they take care of their physical and mental health and nurture their personal relationships. Balance ensures that life remains sustainable and enjoyable over the long term. Time is one of the most valuable resources in designing a life. Unlike money or possessions, time cannot be replenished. Designing a life involves making conscious choices about how you spend your time. This might mean prioritizing activities that align with your goals, saying no to distractions or obligations that don't serve you, and being fully present in each moment. It's about understanding that every decision about how you use your time contributes to the larger picture of your life. Ultimately, designing a life is about contribution. A well-designed life is not just about personal fulfillment, it's also about making a positive impact on others and the world around you. Whether it's through your work, your relationships, or your community involvement, designing a life means using your unique talents and resources to create value for others. This sense of contribution adds a deeper layer of meaning and purpose to your existence. In conclusion, designing a life is a powerful and transformative process. It goes beyond the basic act of making a living to embrace a more holistic, intentional approach to living. It is about clarity, intentionality, adaptability, courage, balance, and contribution. It challenges you to ask the big questions: what do I want my life to stand for? What legacy do I want to leave behind? How can I use my time and talents to create a life that truly fulfills me? The journey of designing a life is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. It allows you to live not just by chance, but by choice, creating a life that is not only successful, but also deeply meaningful. The key difference between simply making a living and designing a life is intention. Intention serves as the compass that guides us, ensuring that our actions align with our values, goals, and aspirations. It distinguishes a life driven by purpose from one dictated by routine and necessity. While making a living often revolves around meeting immediate needs and external expectations, designing a life requires a conscious effort to craft a meaningful existence. At the heart of this lies the power of intentionality, the deliberate act of deciding what kind of life we want to lead and taking steps to make it a reality. Intention begins with clarity. To live intentionally, one must first understand their values, passions, and priorities. Clarity is about identifying what truly matters to you, beyond the noise of societal norms and external pressures. For some, it might be nurturing close relationships or pursuing creative endeavors. For others, it might involve making a meaningful contribution to their community or excelling in a chosen field. Whatever the case, intention requires us to look inward, reflect on our desires and values, and create a vision for the life we want to build. The absence of intention often leads to a life lived on autopilot. Without clear intentions, it is easy to fall into patterns of reacting to circumstances rather than shaping them. Many people wake up, go to work, and navigate daily routines without ever questioning whether their actions are aligned with their deeper goals and values. This reactive way of living can result in a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction, as life becomes a series of tasks rather than a meaningful journey. Intention, on the other hand, shifts the focus from simply getting through the day to actively shaping it in alignment with what matters most. Living with intention requires setting goals and making deliberate choices. Goals provide direction, giving us something to strive for and a sense of purpose. They help us prioritize and allocate our time and energy to the things that truly matter. For instance, someone who values personal growth might set a goal to learn a new skill or take up a challenging hobby. Someone passionate about relationships might dedicate time to building deeper connections with loved ones. These goals, guided by intention, ensure that our actions contribute to the life we want to create. Intention also involves being mindful of how we spend our time. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and living intentionally means making conscious decisions about how we use it. This might involve saying no to activities or commitments that do not align with our values or goals. It could also mean carving out time for self-care, reflection, or pursuing passions that bring joy and fulfillment. When we live without intention, time can slip away, leaving us with a sense of regret or missed opportunities. Intentionality ensures that every moment is spent in ways that contribute to our vision of a well-lived life. A key aspect of intention is taking ownership of our choices. It is about recognizing that we have the power to shape our lives through the decisions we make. While external circumstances can influence our experiences, intention empowers us to focus on what we can control. For example, even in challenging situations, we can choose our attitude, our response, and the actions we take to navigate them. This sense of agency is central to intentional living, as it reinforces the idea that we are active participants in creating our destiny rather than passive observers. Intentionality also encourages us to be present in the moment. In a world filled with distractions and constant demands on our attention, it can be easy to lose sight of the present. Living with intention involves cultivating mindfulness, being aware of our actions and surroundings, and fully engaging with each moment. This presence allows us to appreciate the small joys of life, deepen our connections with others, and ensure that our daily experiences are meaningful and fulfilling. One of the challenges of living intentionally is the need for discipline and focus. It is not enough to set intentions, we must also follow through with consistent actions. This requires effort and commitment, as well as the ability to resist distractions or temptations that might lead us off course. For instance, someone with the intention of improving their health might need to prioritize exercise and healthy eating, even when it feels inconvenient. Similarly, someone focused on professional growth might need to invest time in learning and skill development, even when it requires sacrifices. Discipline ensures that our intentions translate into tangible outcomes. Intention also plays a critical role in resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. When we live with intention, our goals and values provide a sense of stability and purpose, helping us navigate difficulties with greater clarity and determination. For example, someone with a strong intention to build a fulfilling career might view setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Similarly, someone who values relationships might find strength in their connections during tough times. Intention gives us a foundation to stand on, even when the path forward is uncertain. Ultimately, intention is the bridge between making a living and designing a life. It transforms routine actions into meaningful pursuits and ensures that our choices reflect our deeper aspirations. While making a living focuses on survival, intention elevates our experience, guiding us toward a life that is not only successful but also deeply fulfilling. It is the difference between drifting through life and actively shaping it. In conclusion, the key difference between making a living and designing a life lies in intention. It is the deliberate act of aligning our actions with our values and goals, ensuring that we live purposefully and meaningfully. Intention empowers us to take ownership of our lives, make thoughtful choices, and create a vision for the future. It challenges us to move beyond mere existence and embrace the possibilities of a well-designed life. By living with intention, we can transform our daily experiences into a rich tapestry of purpose, growth, and joy. Life is a series of choices. Each decision we make, no matter how small, contributes to the shape and direction of our journey. Among these choices, one of the most profound is deciding whether to merely make a living or to design a life. This is not just a matter of circumstance or opportunity, it is a question of mindset and intention. The choice is yours to make, and it holds the power to determine the quality of your existence. Choosing to design a life, rather than simply make a living, is about embracing agency, taking control, and crafting a path that reflects your values, passions, and aspirations. To understand the weight of this choice, it is important to reflect on what it means to simply make a living. Making a living involves fulfilling the basic needs of survival, earning money to pay for food, shelter, and other necessities. While this is essential, it often becomes a cycle of routine, where the focus is on immediate needs rather than long-term fulfillment. Many people fall into the trap of equating making a living with success, believing that a stable job or a steady income is the ultimate goal. But as the years pass, they may realize that this approach leaves little room for passion, growth, or purpose. Designing a life, on the other hand, is an intentional act of creation. It is about imagining the kind of life you want to lead and taking deliberate steps to bring that vision to reality. It involves aligning your actions with your values, prioritizing what truly matters, and striving for balance and fulfillment. This is not to say that designing a life is easy or without challenges. It requires effort, courage, and a willingness to take risks. But the rewards of a life designed with care and intention far outweigh the comfort of merely going through the motions. The first step in making this choice is recognizing that you have the power to decide. It is easy to feel trapped by circumstances, whether it's a demanding job, financial constraints, or societal expectations. However, it's important to remember that while you may not control every aspect of your life, you do have control over your perspective and your actions. Choosing to design a life means shifting from a passive to an active role in your journey. It means acknowledging that you are not a victim of circumstance, but an architect of your future. Choosing to design a life also requires clarity about what you want. Many people live their lives based on what they think they should do, rather than what they truly desire. They follow paths defined by others, whether it's parents, peers, or societal norms, without pausing to consider whether those paths align with their own passions and values. Designing a life begins with introspection. What are your core values? What brings you joy? What do you want your legacy to be? Answering these questions provides the foundation for making choices that reflect your true self. Once you have clarity, the next step is to take action. Designing a life is not just about dreaming, it is about doing. It requires setting goals and making deliberate choices that move you closer to your vision. For example, if you dream of starting a business, you might begin by saving money, building skills, and networking with like-minded individuals. If you value family, you might prioritize quality time with loved ones, even if it means making sacrifices in other areas. The key is to align your daily actions with your long-term vision, recognizing that every choice you make contributes to the bigger picture. Of course, choosing to design a life comes with challenges. It often involves stepping outside your comfort zone and taking risks. This can be daunting, especially when the path is uncertain or unconventional. You might face criticism or doubt from others, or even from yourself, but it is important to remember that growth often comes from discomfort. The willingness to take risks and embrace uncertainty is what allows you to create a life that is uniquely yours. Another challenge is the fear of failure. Many people hesitate to pursue their dreams because they are afraid of falling short. But failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of the journey. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach. By choosing to design a life, you accept that failures and missteps are inevitable, but they do not define you. What matters is your resilience and your commitment to your vision. Choosing to design a life also means embracing balance. It is easy to become so focused on one aspect of life, whether it's work, relationships, or personal growth, that you neglect other important areas. Designing a life involves creating harmony among your various priorities. This might mean balancing ambition with self-care, or professional goals with personal relationships. Striking this balance ensures that your life is not only meaningful but also sustainable. Ultimately, the choice between making a living and designing a life comes down to intention. It is about deciding whether you want to let life happen to you or whether you want to shape it with purpose and creativity. This choice is deeply personal, and it requires ongoing effort and reflection. But the beauty of life is that it is never too late to choose. Whether you are at the beginning of your journey or seeking a fresh start, you have the power to decide what kind of life you want to lead. In conclusion, the choice is yours. You can choose to settle for making a living, focusing solely on survival and routine. Or you can choose to design a life, embracing the challenges and rewards of living with intention, passion, and purpose. The path of designing a life may not always be easy, but it is deeply fulfilling. It allows you to create a life that is not only successful but also meaningful, a life that reflects who you truly are and what you truly value. A life well designed is one of intention, purpose, and fulfillment. It is a life created with care and thoughtfulness, reflecting the unique values, aspirations, and passions of the individual who lives it. Unlike a life lived by default or dictated by external pressures, a well-designed life is a masterpiece of deliberate choices, continuous growth, and authentic experiences. It goes beyond mere existence, transcending the monotony of survival to embrace the richness of thriving. Designing such a life requires effort, introspection, and courage, but the rewards are profound: a sense of meaning, joy, and deep satisfaction. At the heart of a life well designed is self-awareness. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. To design a meaningful life, one must first understand who they are, their values, strengths, passions, and priorities. This clarity allows individuals to make choices that align with their authentic selves rather than simply conforming to societal norms or chasing superficial markers of success. A well-designed life is not about living up to the expectations of others. It is about creating a path that feels true and fulfilling to the person walking it. Self-awareness often begins with introspection. What matters most to you? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? What activities or experiences bring you the greatest joy and satisfaction? Answering these questions requires time and honesty, as well as a willingness to look beyond surface-level desires. For instance, someone might initially think they want wealth or recognition, but deeper reflection might reveal a desire for freedom, creativity, or connection. This process of self-discovery is essential for charting a course toward a life that resonates on a deeper level. Once self-awareness is established, the next step in designing a life is setting clear intentions. Intention acts as a guiding star, ensuring that your actions and decisions are aligned with your goals and values. Without intention, it is easy to drift through life, reacting to circumstances rather than actively shaping them. A well-designed life, however, is not left to chance. It is built on deliberate choices that reflect what truly matters. For example, someone who values family might intentionally prioritize spending quality time with loved ones, even if it means adjusting their career ambitions. Similarly, someone passionate about personal growth might commit to learning new skills or pursuing meaningful challenges. A well-designed life also requires setting priorities. Time and energy are finite resources, and how they are allocated determines the quality of your life. People often feel overwhelmed because they try to do everything or spread themselves too thin. Designing a life involves identifying what is most important and focusing your efforts there. This might mean saying no to certain opportunities or obligations that do not align with your vision. While this can be difficult, it is necessary to create the space and focus needed for what truly matters. Another hallmark of a life well designed is adaptability. While having a clear vision is essential, life is unpredictable, and plans may need to change. Adaptability ensures that you remain flexible and open to new opportunities, even when they do not fit perfectly into your original blueprint. For instance, an unexpected career change or personal challenge might initially feel like a setback, but could ultimately lead to growth or a new direction that aligns even more closely with your values. A well-designed life is not rigid, it evolves with you, embracing the uncertainties and possibilities of the journey. Balance is another crucial element of a life well-designed. It is easy to become consumed by one aspect of life work, relationships, personal goals, while neglecting others. However, a life that is truly fulfilling recognizes the importance of harmony across different areas. This might mean balancing ambition with self-care, or nurturing both personal and professional relationships. Balance does not imply perfection, but rather an ongoing effort to ensure that all aspects of life receive the attention they deserve. A well-designed life also embraces the concept of contribution. It is not solely about personal fulfillment, it also involves making a positive impact on others and the world around you. Whether through your work, relationships, or community involvement, contributing to something larger than yourself adds depth and purpose to life. This could take many forms, such as mentoring others, supporting a cause you care about, or simply being a source of kindness and encouragement in your daily interactions. Contribution connects you to a greater sense of meaning and reminds you that your actions have the power to influence and inspire. Creativity is another key ingredient in a life well designed. This does not necessarily mean artistic creativity, but rather the ability to think outside the box and approach life with imagination and innovation. A well-designed life often involves forging unconventional paths, exploring new ideas, and finding unique solutions to challenges. Creativity allows you to see possibilities where others see limitations, enabling you to craft a life that is uniquely your own. Finally, a life well designed is one of gratitude and presence. It is easy to become so focused on future goals or past regrets that you miss the beauty of the present moment. Gratitude grounds you in the here and now, helping you appreciate the journey as much as the destination. Whether it's savoring a quiet morning, cherishing time with loved ones, or finding joy in small victories, a well-designed life is rich with moments of presence and appreciation. In conclusion, a life well designed is a testament to the power of intentional living. It begins with self-awareness and is built on a foundation of clear intentions, priorities, adaptability, balance, contribution, creativity, and gratitude. It is not a life free of challenges or setbacks, but one that embraces them as opportunities for growth and discovery. Designing such a life requires effort and courage, but the rewards are profound, a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and joy that transcends the ordinary. A life well designed is not just lived, it is cherished, celebrated, and deeply meaningful. In conclusion, let me leave you with this thought: don't let life happen to you. Make life happen for you. Whether you choose to make a living or design a life is entirely in your hands. So what will it be? The routine of survival or the adventure of creation? The choice is yours. And it's the most important choice you'll ever make. Thank you.